Our third speaker is John Wilder, and this is part 2 of his of a continuation of the speech. The title of the speech is A Man with a Humble Beginning, Edgar R. Huff, part 2. During the colonial period, several African Americans served in the U.S. Marine Corps. After the Marine Corps was reestablished in 1775, African Americans were no longer allowed to serve in its ranks. President Harry S. Truman signed an executive order that created advances for African Americans in the defense industry and ordered the Marine Corps to start recruiting African Americans in the Marine Corps. Edgar Huff was one of the first 50 civilians recruited to train at Montford Point Camp in Jacksonville, North Carolina. He has completed his training and is trying to get home to his sick mother. 2 military policemen locked him up for impersonating a Marine. He is now in jail in Atlanta, Georgia, with no way to contact his mom or his commanding officer, Colonel Woods. The speech is from Pathways Researching and Presenting. Again, the title is A Man with Humble Beginning, Part 2. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. Please help me welcome John Wilder.
Have you ever been in a situation where you were outplayed and used all your options? Well, and Sargent Major Huff is in jail, trying to get home to his mother. And no one would believe that he is a Marine. That's the hard part. So he calls, I guess divine intervention shined down on him one morning there. A major came in and he talked to his major, and his major believed him. After a chaplain came in and 2 other officers came in, nobody believed him. He called Colonel Woods back at camp at Montford Point, and Colonel Woods told him, get my Marine out of jail and get him home to his mother. So after all this is done, he got home to his mother. He went back to Camp Lejeune. And Sergeant Major, not Sergeant Major yet, he went from private to Sergeant Major in 23 months. Now, according to your rank chart you have on your table there, 23 months is enough to get you to maybe Lance Corporal, which is E3 up on the ring, or E4. But Huff did it in 23 months. He went all the way to E9 in 23 months. A General Lawson, okay, General is at the top of the rank of officers, came to a smoker at Camp Lejeune. And I told you before that a lot of times when a Marine left Montford Point and went to Camp Lejeune, he had to take a white person with him, with the chip saying what he was going to raise. Anyway, they took a bunch over to a smoker, which is a boxing exhibition. And the general came in, he said, I've been to Guadalcanal, I've been fighting over there, fighting in the jungles, fighting malaria, and I come back here and I see the war is not over there, the war is here. He said, I walk in here and I see women Marines, I see dog Marines. Our mascot is a dog. His name is Chesty, named after Chester Bowler. And he said, then I see you people. Of course, he said, the war is here. And of course, everybody started throwing bottles at the general. That's unheard of. So that was the first black riot they had at Camp Lejeune. As I said, Huff went from one rank to another in 23 months. So Huff was shipped out to the Pacific in 1945. He took along a company of black Marines with him. And their job solely was to provide ammunition to the white Marines who were fighting up on the line. They would not let them fight just yet. So Huff and the people, they would take the ammo to the front line, and then they'd bring the dead back, or bring the wounded back. So it kept going like this for a while through Okinawa, Japan, which was a brutal fight, Sasebo, Saipan, which is another brutal fight, and also China. Those were the three conflicts that he was in. So he gets back to the June in well, one other thing. Huff was the first African American to set foot in China. So he's proud of that fact, that he was the first Marine. He says it all the time. He says it all the time. But he comes back to Camp Lejeune in 1957, and he is the Sargent Major of a battalion. A battalion is huge. You got regiments, you got companies, but a battalion is midway between a company and a regiment. So there's a lot of people in that. In the battalion office, the officer called him in and he said, "Come on, have a drink with me." Huff said, "I don't drink while I'm working on duty." He said, "Oh, you too good to have a drink with me?" Huff said, "No, I just don't drink while I'm working." So he took the bottle and he shoves it in Huff's face. And rather than hit him, he turned around and walked out. So he said, "I don't want to go to jail." The second incident at Camp Lejeune, he's sitting in the office and the general is on the phone. General's talking to a colonel, which is one rank under him. And Huff is sitting there. And the general say, "How many watermelons do you think that, how many watermelons do you have?" He said. Let me get this straight. No, he said, "Now, Colonel," he said, "it isn't how many watermelons you have, it's how many black people you have to eat them." Of course, I inserted another word in that. After he hung up and looked around, he said to Sergeant Major, he said, "I'm sorry." And Huff said, "What did you say?" He said, "I'm sorry." He said, almost like Huff didn't even hear. Huff was a master at disarming people who discriminate against him. Because his main focus was to get through the Marine Corps and get to the top. That he did. And his whole thing was, I can be the best that I can be. And he said, failure to me is not an option. So I ask you to stay tuned for my next saga of Sergeant Major Huff.